Guys, today I wanted to talk to you while inking, and I wanted to talk to you about the launch of a new comics visual novel art asset community collective, Inkdrop Cafe. And Inkdrop Cafe currently has, I want to say, about 10 members. We're kind of in the middle of a soft recruitment drive, and right now all of our current full members are comic creators. And I thought it would be easy to ink and talk, but it's actually much harder to talk coherently about something than it is to just kind of ramble like I'm doing right now. Anyway, though, so Inkdrop Cafe launches on the 29th of April. So it is the 26th right now. So it's actually fully launching in a few days, but the site is already up. We've already got several members as well as member comics, and you can check out our members and member comics on inkdropcafe.com, and you can check my description below for a link. And my webcomic, 7-Inch Kara, is one of the members, but my blog and this YouTube channel are both affiliates. So the way Inkdrop Cafe works is when it comes to comic collectives, art asset, art tutorial, art resources, those are not really recognized in the community. I mean, we provide a lot of good to the community, but no one's willing to own us. We're like everybody's dirty little secret. And that's sort of been what's kept me from joining a collective before, is that I spend so much time doing this stuff that benefits others and educates others that I'd like, you know, to be a full member. I'd like a little recognition for my hard work. And Inkdrop Cafe is one of the first communities that recognize that sort of contribution and rewards that sort of contribution. So we have 2 other affiliate members or associate members, and that would be Paper Cat Press, which is run by Leanna, who is a wonderful comic artist who is generous enough to spend some of her time collecting and organizing art sort of opportunities for comic people. So like zine submissions, anthology submissions, people looking to hire freelance artists. Leanna sort of collects a lot of those opportunities and releases them as a list each week. She also interviews other creators, particularly creators who come from interesting walks of life or who do not really meet the average person's expectations of what a comic creator would be. So a while back, she made it a point to seek out and interview mothers who were comic artists and webcomic artists, which is sort of a very, very unique set of challenges because, you know, you've got the whole self-employed thing going on. You've got the whole, you're funding a project out of your own pocket going on, so you don't have a stable source of income, and then you're also juggling raising kids and dealing with kids and helping them with their homework and taking care of them when they're sick and being a mom. So if that sounds intriguing to you, you should definitely check out Paper Cat Press. One of our other affiliates is Saint Art Fair, and I interviewed, possibly also pronounced as Start Fair, and I interviewed them a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, when their webcomic magazine launched. And Start Fair is a wonderful opportunity if you are looking to get some extra eyes on your work, and you can find out more information about Start Fair and their submission policies by checking out their Twitter or by checking my description for a link to their site. Now, some of our full members include my good friend Kabocha, who draws the webcomic Linked, Rez P. Heel or Rez Fail, it's been explained to me 2 different ways, who draws the comic Galebound, Kaiju, who does the webcomic Nove, Draco Plato, who does the webcomic Witch Carnival, as well as Zenchev and Zenchav out of order, but Witch Carnival is a full member comic, whereas Zenchav is part of Start Fair, so is like an affiliate of ours. gee. Sorry, it is so hard for me to ink and talk, and I can't bring up the reference because I wouldn't be able to read it. There's also people who are, oh yeah, that's right, Alicatila, who does Spider Silk, which is a fantastic webcomic that is currently kickstarting its 2nd volume. So you might want to check that out if you like print comics. And we've recently gained some new members who I need to go check out their work soon. I've been kind of busy between doing stuff here for the channel and doing stuff for Inkdrop Cafe administration-wise, because I am one of the admin. I am the secretary of the group. So I am in charge of putting together documents and disseminating documents and making sure people see things and adding new suggestions to this large document that we've got going. But although we are not currently soliciting for more artists, if you are interested, if you're looking for a home for your work, if you do something that is perhaps underappreciated or doesn't fit conventional status models, like if you do animations or if you do visual novels, you should definitely follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we are looking to add some new members. I would like to see some more YouTube artists added, because as somebody who prioritizes art education, I would really like to reward the people who are being generous with their time and sharing their knowledge with other people. Because like I said, it is an underappreciated group, and we are not really accepted elsewhere, so people don't really recognize our contributions. So it would be really nice if we could get some more art education. And I keep nagging my friend Kabocha, who you guys have heard me mention her. Well, I mentioned her in some upcoming videos, which have yet to be edited, so you have not actually heard me mention her. But you will hear me mention her soon. She does a lot of Photoshop resources and is also one of the organizers of manga apps on DeviantArt. And I keep trying to get her to affiliate Shooting Stars. So hopefully that may join the lineup as well. But we have all sorts of exciting, neat things planned for the future. And our launch weekend is going to begin mostly with just like sort of introducing ourselves and our collective and what we'd like to do for the community. And while there are definitely other comic collectives out there, I do believe, and I say this as a founder, so I actually know what's in store, but I do believe that Inkdrop Cafe has something unique to offer that isn't currently being serviced in the webcomic community, and that's always a big deal. So, early in the group's launch, one of our big focus is on promoting and audience growth for everyone involved. So one of the ways we went about doing that is Kabocha and Rez wrote a site rotator script, so everyone has a banner at the bottom or in the sidebar of their comic or their art resource blog or their opportunity blog, or their comics magazine, and it rotates so that every time you refresh the page, you see a new comic. And for those of you who read nattosoup.blogspot.com, you may have noticed that. And that is not something that I was required to put in, because as an affiliate, we don't have a lot of affiliate support options yet. But I opted to put that in to help support my group members. Try and share some of the audience that I've built up over 8 years with them. And I'm mentioning it here on the channel, not because I'm required to, but because I think a lot of you probably enjoy webcomics. You may have webcomics of your own. So I hope if you have the time, you'll take a moment to check out some of my peers on Inkdrop Cafe. And if you haven't yet, I would really love it if you would also take the time to check out 7-Inch Kara, which is a member comic. That's why I'm doing a cute little ink splattered Kara as sort of a piece of celebratory art, help get the word out. But there are loads of places where you can find a type of comic community. I've been involved in the Twitter comic community for 8 years now, and I've been involved with Tumblr, and I have done conventions, and I help run, or I co-run, How to Be a Con Artist. So I am very familiar with existing comic communities, places where people discuss comics and where people share their comics. And I am also familiar with some of the other collectives that are out there. And I've been solicited by a couple of them, and I was really interested. But, you know, the blog and as time progressed, this channel were such a big part of my work and what I did and how I promoted myself and how I was trying to buy acceptance from my peers that I didn't want that to just be an afterthought. I think it's insulting for it to just be an afterthought. It takes up too much work. I've put too much of myself and my education into it over the years for it just to be an afterthought. Oh yeah, I guess we can link your comic one time. You know, I'm not your comic, we can link your blog one time. A lot of people are really dismissive of what I do. So when I encountered a group of friends who valued what I did and were encouraging and thought it was worthwhile, and who wanted to form a collective, I was really excited because, I mean, I've had dealings with my comics peers for over a decade. I've been doing comics since I was 13. I've been involved in various comic communities and art communities since I was 14. And they were honestly some of the first to be welcoming and to support that aspect of my comics career, my comic interests. So I hope that Inkdrop Cafe will be an inviting and welcoming place for creators of all stripes. I really hope we'll gain some visual novel artists and writers at some point. I would really love that. That's why we don't refer to ourselves as a comic community, because we really want to give a home to like indie game dev and to animators and to just the sort of people who, while they might have a place where they belong, they might do so many different things that they don't easily fit into just one category and maybe don't want to be shoehorned into just one category. I know my work definitely falls in line with that. I mean, heck, when you do kidlit and you do kids comics, it's like you're invisible. You just don't do anything, apparently, because neither of those two worlds really know how to deal with the other side of you. We currently have a forum and quite a lively little Discord channel, which has already proved to be really handy because several of our members use it to get critique on their work. So I am really happy that we can already provide that sort of service for our members. And I hope you guys will look forward to several other promotional pieces that I'm going to be generating in the next few weeks. Like I said, I'm really excited about this launch, and I want us to have lots of cute art, and I hope to have lots of good engagement. I hope a lot of people are excited about it. I definitely wanted to be part of a community that didn't just give preference to the popular or the strong members, but gave equal treatment to everyone who brought something of value to the table. I'm really hoping we can be that sort of a community. I've been involved in far too many projects where the popular or the bigger names were the only ones the organizers felt were worth mentioning, and everyone else could just kind of go die in a fire. So I am really opposed to that sort of treatment. And I think there are a lot of comic creators who probably feel the same way, but feel embarrassed to speak out. And I don't mind speaking out, so, you know, it would be nice to be able to offer an alternative to that. And while we are just launching, we have been sort of a loose band of compadres on Discord for, I guess 6 months now, and some of us have known each other for quite a bit longer. So I would say we've got pretty good chemistry. And I know for a lot of comic creators, having that sort of community home base where they're welcome and where they can get help if they need it and where they can share their work and gain insight is really important, because that's really important for me. And I know just having arty friends, I know it's important to them. Alright, I'm gonna try something and I might live to regret it. We'll see how this goes. Because I want it to look like her clothes are a little ink smudge, so don't normally do this kind of stuff, but it's fun every now and then. And I know for a lot of creators, having sort of a safe forum where they can discuss their work without anybody getting on their case or attacking them is also really important. So another nice plus is that we have a few member-only boards just to give the creators somewhere they can kind of chill out. And we also wanted to be the sort of community that provided a lot of educational assets to creators who would like to make comics or just learning how to make comics or have recently started making comics. And I know those of you who watch my channel know that that is a big deal to me. I wouldn't spend the time I spend doing the things I do if I didn't care about that. So that's definitely an initiative that is really important to me and that I'm going to make sure continues to thrive. And we plan on doing that in several ways. Early on, we are currently compiling a library of assets, not only to help people get their stuff in tip-top shape for Inkdrop Cafe, but also to help people with making their own comics. We also have an entire Discord chat full of creators who are very eager and open to help others who are passionate about comics and are very knowledgeable. So I am really excited about that. I feel like our best asset are the creators who are on board with the project. And we're also still fairly small, so if you're one of those people, one of those creators who perhaps are shy, or maybe you just feel like you get lost in the crowd, I'm definitely one of those people, this might be a good place to consider for your work. And we would certainly love it if you did check our comics out. So please join us on April 29th for our launch of Inkdrop Cafe, a creator collective. And you can find more information at inkdropcafe.com or by following us on our Twitter. We're going to be signal boosting, promoting, and just celebrating one another all day on the 29th. So I hope to see you guys then. Bye!